Hey Brandon, so I'm sad because it's snowing. I'm sad because America's not great again. It's just things are going downhill. So encourage me. Tell me about heaven. What is it going to be like?
Well, it's tough. We don't know because God tells us that it's beyond what we can fathom, what we can imagine. But the cool part is, as a Christian, we get the end game. God tells us what's going to happen in the future, right? We can see that He's fulfilled prophecy and His promises before. So we may be stuck in the mud right now, but in the grand scheme of things, this is just a blip on the map, right? If we're a Christian, we get eternity in the presence of God. We get to be in the kingdom that is going to be designed and developed to be with us in mind, right? He tells us of the new Jerusalem that's going to come. You know, we have the kingdom before that, but there's going to be no sin. There's going to be no sorrow. There's going to be no pain. There's going to be no uncertainty. There's going to be no injustice. There's not going to be leaders who are corruptible, right? The people that God puts in charge aren't going to be taking bribes. They're not going to be wicked leaders. They're not going to be destroying people. God's going to be on the earth with us, and we get to look forward to a perfect environment.
Is there going to be snow? What's the weather going to be like?
There may be snow. I don't know if there will be snow.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it won't.
There might be.
There won't be no day and night, right? Because the Lords are like...
Yeah, there won't be. It's hard to tell, right?
No masks.
No masks.
Yeah, no masks.
And
masks are optional.
What are we going to be wearing? Are we going to be wearing gold Gucci suits?
Maybe. We'll have to ask God who the tailors are that are saved.
Are we not supposed to be, are we going to be wearing the righteous robe of the Lord, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to be clothed in His righteousness, and that's one of those imageries, or the symbolism or the imagery that He gives to us, that it's not our righteousness, right? We're going to be glorified when Christ returns, and it's going to be in the same way that Christ was glorified because of what He went through. So we'll deal with that when we see it. And that's hard to understand what glory means, right? We see the image of this brightness, of this light that emanates. We see this like when Paul talks about it in Corinthians, he says that the glory that Moses had on his face made it so the Israelites couldn't look at him, and so he had to put a veil over his face. And then he compares that to Jesus. He says, how much greater is it going to be when Christ returns? Like, we won't even be able to look at Him because of the glory and the brightness. And the cool part is, if we're Christians and saved, we'll be taking part in that. We'll be glorified just like Christ is, and we'll be made like He is. And so, you know, it's really, really hard to conceptualize because I've never seen it. Yeah. Right? I've never seen the glory of Christ in my reality. I've never seen an angel in His likeness. Like, it's really hard to describe that. But what I do know is that God is the author of all things that are good, and He tells me that it's going to be better than anything I can imagine now. So I'm just going to go ahead and trust that it's going to be pretty good.
You know, the only thing that worries me really about heaven is what about there's no meat to eat? Because it says that the lion's going to lay with the sheep, so they're not eating meat.
He just says they're not going to eat each other. It doesn't mean that we're going to be vegans. Maybe we won't have to eat. Maybe we'll still get to eat meat. Who knows? He doesn't tell us.
That'd be crazy, heavy without eating.
Huh?
Maybe there'll be a fruit that tastes like bacon.
There you go. Maybe we'll have a...
It is heaven. So very...
I mean, he's got it under control. He knows, right? He tells us He knows what the desires of our heart are, right? And so He'll be able to fulfill those. He knows what we're like. He knows what those entail. So,
but the best part, right, is no more tears. That's it.
No more tears, no more sorrow, no more disease, no more sickness. We're not going to see the curse on the land. We're not going to be subject to the curse. Like, it's hard to imagine. We have to ask God. We have to actually seek Him in order to really try to grasp that, so that we can use that as our hope. Because that's what we see Paul writing to the church, the Thessalonians, right? He says, the hope that you have in Christ, the promises of the future, you guys have held fast to those, and it's created, an actionable love. It's created a pure faith. So, it's just a development. We can't know for certain, but we can know and put our promises in that it will be good. It will be better than anything that we've seen now, tasted now, understood now, and God will author that. So soon enough, we'll see.
Good news. Okay, bye.